Well, we've made it. It took us 10 years to get here, but we've made it. He's doing this whole United Empire gimmick. Batman's just sitting there playing on his phone.
I'm sharing our Twitch. So fuck off.
Look at you being all fucking social media manager.
Fuck off.
10 years ago, what did you do? You came over with a fucking notebook and we sat like two fucking assholes with a $3 mic and we talked about wrestling for hours. So let's talk about that on the wrestling show. Welcome everyone, this is Sleazy.
It's the Fat Man.
Welcome everyone to our 10-year anniversary of the wrestling show. I don't know how the fuck we made it here. Goddamn, I was thinking about this for
10 years.
Well, I mean, yeah, but I absolutely did not believe that we were going to get here. That's for damn fucking sure. Everyone is here. So let's start with,
of course. He's either smoking pot or sucking on a dick. I don't know which one.
I was literally going to say,
I mean, they're doing well.
The very first time Ryan was on the show, he was coughing because he took a hit off his blunt.
Doesn't they? He interviewed me.
Yes.
I was a worker.
Right. Fucking amazing, right? So
Right?
Ryan Williams. So Ryan Williams is on the show today.
Hi, y'all.
Brandon Dietz is with us.
Hey, y'all.
What's up, motherfucker?
And of course, Mr. United Empire over here. Chip Willett is with us with a
Cheers.
Shit. Okay.
Are you wearing a bolo tie?
What?
No.
The fuck? These are regular ties, motherfucker. We can't.
Hi, bitch.
Man.
Chip said cheers.
I just want to point out that I'm dressed in the finest of suits, but my Canadian internet won't allow me to do video and podcast at the same time. So you're just gonna
it's his birthday suit.
It's his birthday suit. Yeah, I was just gonna say.
I said it was
Are you
my finest
drinking
suit,
whiskey
birthday
out of a
suit.
Cavassier glass?
Right now.
Hey, pass the Kavasi.
Okay, so
I'm saying.
I have a shot of Goldschlager in my Hall of Fame shot glass, since I am the only Hall of Famer on the show.
Cheers.
I'm actually in 3 Hall of Fames, but that's okay.
Yeah, but none of them are for the wrestling show. Now, are they?
One is for wrestling.
Yeah,
Not
but
the
not for the
wrestling
wrestling show. And that's the important part that he wants to get over because he's a fucking mark for himself.
Yes, I am.
Oh, so am I. So this is great when at the award show, Sleazy announces me as the newest member of the Hall of Fame.
I mean,
he could announce it, but since you have to be inducted into the Hall of Fame by a Hall of Fame member.
But that's how I'm putting Sleazy in next year.
Okay, so I'm putting it up. Ready? And this is kind of a I hate to start on like kind of a bittersweet note, but this is the last episode that's going to be airing on the GERE network.
Yes.
And I propose in the Wrestling Show Hall of Fame, and this was something I thought about. I propose to put JC Money into the Wrestling Show Hall of Fame.
Okay, fine. But
yes.
Here's the thing.
Next year.
So here's the thing. I also have a special guest waiting in the rings. Travis Kitten. No, I'm not going to do it to Ryan.
No, fuck that dude.
That would
I'm
be
not
amazing.
doing that.
I would shit a brick.
That would be earlier than he normally is.
Oh,
And then
that would
Ryan will
so
just be
good.
like, boom, gone.
Boom, off.
Um,
He almost had his hand over the button, I'm sure.
Canadian quarrel at its best.
Right. I mean, whatever. So as always, like I said, we're kind of fucking around a little bit today. We've got some cool trivia. We've got little bits and pieces. Normally I do a slideshow. I didn't do that fucking this year. Mainly because we've been doing a lot more
We
video.
have viewers that watch us on Twitch. You didn't do a slideshow. Way to go.
They usually
That's the wrestling show way, bro.
well, yeah, but they're also fucking cold as shit too. It's like
That's the wrestling show way.
being cold as shit.
Hell yeah, I'm in a blanket, bro. Hell yeah.
Okay, fair.
It's good.
I'm in a full fucking suit, so absolutely not. So let's
He gets sweaty naked. Imagine him with clothes on.
I peeled an orange, but that was 2 hours ago.
That's gross.
Okay, so one of the things I do love to do is I went through all of our episodes.
Oh God. That's
No.
a lot of episodes.
Well, guys are gonna guess how many hours of content we put
Oh,
out.
we've done this before.
Yes.
Oh,
And this is as of last week. I'm gonna start.
Okay, do me a favor. See, this is such a hard answer.
that's
like-
what she said.
What do we like? Because you're not doing every week for 10. We haven't done every week for 10 years, but we've gone a good while. Like,
We have been doing around, I don't know,
About 50 a week, 50 a year, maybe.
maybe 50 a year. We're on episode 297.
And then you have to understand, we're going from 1 hour, 1.5 hour to 3.5 hours to time.
Well, when we first started the show, Sleazy and I
There
were
was
going
6
two-
of us.
Well, when
No, before us.
Well, before us.
for us, we were going 2.5, 3 hours by ourselves.
Yeah.
So
We didn't know how to shut up.
no.
No, right?
Hello, pot. Have you met Kettle?
Okay,
Um,
okay. I'll make a guess.
Okay.
Yeah, this many
Yeah,
episodes.
Are we going straight hours or minutes?
I've got
Hours.
it down to the second.
Ooh. Okay, I got this.
so
Well, you
without
know-
going over,
Without going over, I'm gonna make a nice even 10,000 hours.
No.
Oh my God.
yeah, I think you went over.
I,
Yeah, okay. Okay, the real answer is
No. People gotta get.
You do really think 10,000? 1,125.
1125 is a nice one.
10,000 that was a real answer. Go to fault.
Deets.
I'm gonna go a little lower.
Ryan
I
set the bar. Seems like beat the clock.
I'm
Price is right.
I'm gonna go 990.
990. Interesting.
Yeah, 990.24.
Okay.
If only we had a cool like computer guy on the show that could like edit this post show and put it up on video and pop up the prices right numbers as we were doing it. That's
Yeah.
cool.
Well, I am a computer person, but I'm also doing this too, so I can't do that. If we could afford a producer,
I'm gonna go 6.
That seems low. Before you even say any of the rest of your numbers.
See,
that seems
I
low.
originally was gonna say 725, and then you went 11.
669.
Oh,
Oh, he's going the 669.
Nice, bro.
shit.
I'm going to go 8 hours, 25 minutes, and 36 seconds.
8
Hours.
hours is yeah.
Shit, there's like
That's
8 shows that we do. That's it.
That's
Yeah.
10
8
years.
I mean, 800. Sorry, 800.
Well, we're going by prices right
800,
rules
okay.
here.
I was about to say he could just say the number one and he could win.
He said 8 hours, and
I meant-
technically he's
I meant-
right.
Ha!
He actually won, but the real number is 396 hours, 43 minutes, 43 seconds.
Wow.
That's how much we've done over the 10 years. And that
so we were
includes all-
low.
We were You guys are way
because
low.
you're talking about 3.5 hour episodes. And if this is episode
That's what scared me.
297 and it's an
Right?
hour, you know what I mean?
we average about 40 hours of content a year. Obviously, that's
I was going to say a week. I'm like, geez, that's a work
yeah,
week.
right.
And I'm like, we don't do that.
But the thing was that in our first bits of years, we were putting out one episode a month. and
Yeah.
it's 2.5 hours. There's
And
sometimes
then we went every other week, and then I think we went back to one episode
Mhm.
a month, and then yeah.
but that also includes all the Canadian bacon,
Yep.
the
Pilot
anime
party.
show, which by the way, Who here remembers the name of the episode of, or the series, the sub show that we used for the MMA?
The
The Violent Party.
It was the Violent
Bubba.
Party.
Still had the best theme song ever.
Yeah, the
Until we
Terminator theme
busted.
song. Well,
No, we had some Australian metal song, and then they decided to bust us for it. Remember?
yeah, the T2 theme. It was the
Yeah.
Terminator 2 theme.
Yeah, it was the
We have a
Austrian
special
Death Machine.
guest coming on the show.
Oh, your
My
pocket
black pussy.
pussy? Okay.
Thought you were about to go back to the Travis joke.
Nope.
That's about. Oh wait, you made a Travis joke. My Canadian internet fucked up, so I didn't hear it. If you made a Travis, joke.
Oh, you missed it.
That's even better.
Oh,
I know
you
someone
missed
didn't
it.
even mean to.
You missed the joke. That was the best part of the joke, was that you were like, you didn't say a word afterwards. It was great.
Yeah, no Canadian internet.
So
All the
we
way
had,
back from night. He's still on AOL and some Messenger.
so
I'm on my neighbor's AOL.
oh my goodness.
True wrestling fan, pirating Wi-Fi.
I mean, why not? 10 years of doing this shit. Like, we haven't watched a show not as legally as we're supposed to be. Whatever.
We're not that. My bad.
Oops. Well, 10 years is a long time. You know, we've spent a lot of time, a lot of effort on this. We've spent a lot of many hours of me editing, many hours of Fat Man researching, all of us just putting content together.
That sounds like journalism to me.
Fuck you.
It may sound like journalism.
But in truth, it's two assholes with a $3 mic talking about wrestling. So we talked about the Violent Party. We'll get into that timeline a little bit later. But does anybody remember the first guest we had on the show? And it's not Ryan.
Dick Justice.
He was actually a full year later than this person.
Wasn't John Canton?
It was John Canton, episode 11.
Really?
Episode 11. So he was our first guest. Ryan was on afterwards. And then we had
Of course, Ron coming in the dead spot.
fucking assholes.
Every time I went to dead spot, I killed it. Fuck you guys.
Well,
Yeah, you definitely
what a
did
great
kill the
spot is.
crowd.
you joke, but the people that were on afterwards were Tom and Aaron Briggs. Aaron
Yeah.
died about 6 months later in a horrific car accident. So
Oh.
that was a whole downer moment. And we were like, well, what the fuck do we do? And we've had a lot of times over the 10 years of where we had to wonder and figure out whether or not we should actually air content or pull content down or something like that. And these days,
They really only started when I joined the podcast. Let's be fair.
I mean, you were a big part of it. I won't disagree with that. But there were a lot of things that we talked about over the years that were kind of iffy. And not just from a perspective of, you know, we say shit and just for fun and maybe it was a little off color, but there are legal ramifications for some of the things that we were talking about. I remember we pulled down an entire episode of the wrestling show because we were afraid we were going to get sued. And it's interesting to see how over the years we've kind of edited ourselves a little bit. Ryan does his best, but sometimes shit slips.
He tries.
He tries.
I do
Yay.
try. I do try. It's not my fault that your aunt is a very big ginger who likes pudding pops.
Oh my God.
Oy.
And that's how we get off the air after 10 years.
How? I said 3 singly innocent words.
So here's my thing. Back in the first bit, before we had our current theme, before we even had Unsettling Differences, which we used for years.
Favorite theme song, by the way.
I love it. I will admit I love it. The only reason why we really changed it was we really needed something that wasn't licensed. And while I had permission from Blue Smock Nancy to use it, it got so much of a pain in the ass over the years using it in YouTube, using it on Twitch. We would constantly get DMCA'd. We had problems with Spotify even. Spotify was flagging it when I first tried to get us on Spotify before we ever started with GERE. But do you remember the very first theme song we got? We used it from episode 10 on for like 2 years. Does anybody remember it?
Wasn't it like a theme song that one of your friends did?
That's for the outro that we still use, actually.
I don't know what our theme song is now.
Wasn't this fire?
It was That Fire.
That fire.
Night.
Yeah.
And it was actually Fat Man's choice.
Mm-hmm.
Fat Man brought it up and we used it for years. The outro was done by a friend of mine. We still use it to this day. It's a Beast and Man by GQ Automatic. But yeah, we still use that, and it's a fun little piece, and it's really cool. But I was so happy that they were able to do it for us. So one last bit of trivia before we go down thinking about life and so on and so forth. What was the very first pay-per-view we all reviewed as a staff? Now, keep in mind that at this point, Chip wasn't with us on the staff show, but he was part of the overall group. There were 5 people on the show otherwise, and we're not going to talk about the last one. But do you guys remember what was the first pay-per-view?
Would it have been Summer?
I want to say
it's something in 2014.
It was actually 2013.
Yeah, I want to say it was in the summer of 2013. Why do I want to say like Battleground?
Battleground's a good one.
Because it was probably a terrible pay-per-view we had to review.
It was.
I don't know why I keep thinking TLC.
TLC was the second one we actually did.
Close, PT.
No, third one, excuse me. Second one was Battleground. The first one was Night of Champions. So that was back in the St. Louis Arena in Detroit, Michigan. It was
Joe Louis Arena.
Oh,
Wow.
wow. What the fuck was that?
Is that cranberry and vodka over there?
Maybe. Joe Louis Arena. God.
You got a lot of bit of that sucky sake, Chip. That's what that is.
That's true.
It's what happens when you scroll too fast. In Detroit, Michigan. Anywho, the Joe Louis Arena. It was headlined by
Danielson and Orton.
Yes. Let's take a look at what the card was real quick.
Oh God.
We had the tag team turmoil match.
9 years ago, mind you. This
was
your
9 years ago. This is hilarious.
Oh,
You have in the tag team turmoil match 3MB,
God bless
2
that.
future world champions.
2 future world
Plus the
champions.
original, plus the inaugural SmackDown tag team champions.
Yes.
And he got kids.
And he got kids. They were in with tons of funk.
Yes. Ted Side.
Future NWA World Heavyweight Champion.
Yes. And
Bro, fuck that.
Matt Bloom. The Real Americans,
Wow.
Yes.
which was
Cesaro.
Cesaro and Jack
And
Swagger.
Swagger.
We the people need.
And then, of course, this
Yes.
tag team that went really nowhere after this, the Usos.
Who they ever beat?
Oh, they suck.
Well, they got destroyed by the big tag team of the time, the Prime Time Players.
Millions of dollars. Millions of
Red
dollars.
Roster.
They were fucking over shit back then. All the same.
And slap.
Right?
Red Roster and Slide Man.
God damn. So the actual card was Curtis Axel when he was still Paul Heyman. Oh,
Oh
God.
God.
Versus Kofi Kingston.
I miss Axel.
Yeah.
Axel Mania.
It was
running
running
wild.
wild.
Only guy never to be eliminated from a Royal Rumble.
Yep. Still, he needs his due. AJ Lee doing the whole Mrs. Pipe Bob thing with Brie Bella, Naomi, and Natalia. Where they're doing the whole Total Divas thing. And then you had Rob Van Dam versus Alberto Del Rio for the World Heavyweight Championship.
Can you see that in CMLL?
Jesus Christ. And then you had Miz versus Fandango.
Can we underestimate how awesome Alberto Del Rio was when he was first introduced? The entrance, the montage, the cars. Dude, I
Juan
fucking
D.O.
loved him.
D.O. was great. Okay, I love Juan D.O. just like Nick.
I mean, Sheamus took a shit in his car, so I guess that kind of works out.
See, back to the gingers.
So Curtis Axel had his working boots on this show because he came back and faced CM Punk with Paul Heyman.
Heyman won.
Heyman won.
Good.
Heyman won.
Heyman beat
Good.
CM Punk.
Yes.
Good. 9 years later, CM Punk's still a fuckhead.
U.S. title. Who was the U.S. champion at that point? Does anybody remember?
Zack Ryder?
Dean Ambrose.
Dean Ambrose. This was the
This is the run
era
of
of the Shield.
Ambrose that
Where
he
he
held it for like
defended it like once in like a year.
Yeah. And it was
And
against
this
Dolph
show.
Ziggler. Which, come on. Then you had the Shield facing the Primetime Players, which, the Primetime Players over as fuck. They get destroyed by the Shield. And then, of course, Daniel and Randy having a match, and they had the whole Triple H's best for business gimmick thing. That was all for during that time. But yeah, that was our first pay-per-view. So let's kind of quickly talk about what the wrestling show is, what it was, what it is currently, and what it will be. So when we started, Fat Man and I talked about it many years ago. We blogged about it and so on. We were sitting out front my fucking mother's house 10 years ago, just shooting the shit about wrestling, and we had nothing else better to do. We shot the shit, and we would do it for hours and hours and hours. Fuck. And then was it Swarley was with us one time. He's like,
My roommate.
His roommate. He's like,
Wherever he
let's
is over
do
there.
a fucking podcast. I'm like, what the fuck is that?
Yeah.
No idea.
All the people in the world, and as technological as you are, you didn't know what a podcast was back
In
then?
2012,
There
there was like one person doing a podcast.
right. Guys like Mark Maron, Jimmy Pardo, in terms of our realm, Colt Cabana. That's pretty much it. Nobody else was doing podcasts at that point. Podcasts weren't a thing in 2012, really. And that's what kind of made it interesting, is that we were going into a new realm. I had no experience of sound engineering or any of that kind of stuff. And over the last 10 years, obviously I've gotten a little better because I've done 400 hours of content. How many times I've had to scrap episodes, modify sound levels, and oh my God, the nightmare of the early days of editing the wrestling show was obscene, because we were using one mic for two people. And if one of us was a little bit further away or closer, I had to manually edit that in or out. When we started going through the group shows, it got 10 times worse, because once again, I have our line and then the three of you guys' line, all not separate, not anything. And once again, if one of your guys' sound was off, I'd have to manually edit it all. So we go from that to where we are now. It's so much different. It's a lot easier to deal with. So once that happened, we really started getting into it. And then WrestleMania 29 happens.
Wah, wah, wah.
The rest is history.
I mean, yeah. Now keep in mind, at that point I was dealing poker at maybe $100 a week. I was fucking.
And I did not have a job.
You didn't have a job.
Oh, really? You have jobs back then?
We were both unemployed.
Mhm.
Okay.
Oh, did I know that?
Yeah. So we were fucking. Fat Man and I had a game running, local game that he and I dealt at, and that was it. I was doing side jobs with my business. Like, if I'd gotten maybe three or four jobs in a month, that was a great month, that type of thing. So I was making less than $500 a month in some cases. But yeah, so we were trying to do this podcast with no money, no advertising budget. And the joke about the $3 mic, that's a shoot that we literally, I bought that for $2.99 at a Goodwill. And
Right.
we used that for nearly a year. So we did that. I had saved up a bunch of money for WrestleMania because it was in New York. We figured it was going to be our only chance to really go to a WrestleMania without, completely destroying our budgets and stuff. We still ended up spending like $600-700 on it at the time, which in 2013 was pretty expensive for us. But that's where we met everyone here, basically. Chip, Dietz, we met you guys in the oh my God.
Parking lot.
A fucking parking lot of MetLife Stadium. And I found, let me see if I can bring it back up because it's on our YouTube channel, believe it or not.
This is where I called for the double heel turn.
Yes, you called for the double heel turn. And it's like, what the hell is he talking about? Okay, well, I guess we can play around with it. Whatever.
And then we met, while you're looking that up, we met Ryan and Travis at there's no way
he should not be named.
There's no way Jay Briscoe is going to win the ROH World title.
There is no way Jay Briscoe's winning the ROH World title. Who thought that was going to fucking happen? None of us.
Not a single person. I will admit that.
And then Ryan, I've never seen a fat guy run so fast in my life after that bell rang.
I was so mad. I was not watching that celebration. I was already almost a week without any fucking marijuana in me. One time I tried to go with marijuana. Travis ratted me out the voice because I was going to message a sketchy black guy in an alleyway for drugs in New York and get arrested. That's that entire story is a shoot.
No,
that part
you want to get
story
arrested. You just had to blow the cop.
That. Yeah, that
WrestleMania, I would have blown the cop.
So you're just like half baked. Hey, you're so dick for weed.
I suck dick for weed in WrestleMania.
So I'm going to show you guys a quick snippet here. This wonderful gentleman.
Oh yes, I was dressed as the Funkasaurus.
Yes.
Daddy Dietz.
So I'm not going to turn on the sound because the sound is terrible. We did this in the wind.
No, it was windy.
With our $3 mic.
With our $3 mic and a shitty laptop.
Yes.
That really worked.
Yes.
The funny thing about all of this part is how close me and Travis and Dietz were to actually running into each other.
Yeah.
Because we were supposed to meet you guys there.
Yes.
Travis and the girlfriends at the time. And we stopped over to Popeye's Chicken. And by the time we got through everything that we had to do, because we had fan access in the morning, we didn't have time. Because we went to fan access first. And by the time we got food and got there, everybody was going in. So we didn't get to meet up with the rest of the boys that day.
Yeah.
Look at all those fucking marks.
I don't know who any of these people are.
I don't know who they are either. I remember we walked around and we were trying to guess. We were asking people who was sleazy and who was the fat man. And almost everyone thought that I was sleazy and you're the fat man.
Right.
Because you're actually are fatter than me.
I was way fatter. Even then, I had to have been at least 100 pounds more than you at that point. And I've obviously gained weight since then. But
I've lost weight since then. So
yeah. So it's interesting to
look how grainy that video is.
Right?
It's so bad.
This is 2013. Now keep in mind, when I say 2013, the video is from 2013. The camera is probably from 2009. So this is just garbage stuff. I'm trying to see if I'm not sure if I got you on camera, Chip.
Probably did.
If you did, it'd be in the beginning because
Yeah.
I wasn't on the first.
Yeah, you're on the first. Yeah, I don't see you on there, but yeah, that's a cool little, shot into our past in that respect. Some asshole with a CM Punk thing with Boston Red Sox under it. You fucking goddamn fucking mark.
So I think my favorite part of that little clip is like you guys actually made me super fucking excited for the show. Like for me, I haven't been that jazzed up. Granted, that was the very first WrestleMania I've ever been to. So I was already jazzed up, but then like talking to you guys and then feeling the energy of that fucking crowd and also seeing like I wasn't the only douchebag dressed up.
Yeah.
I was
A
dressed
lot
up.
of people dressed up.
Well, no, Chip
I'm the
was
10
dressed up. Chip was my 10 side.
and I was 4 times smaller than he was.
Yeah. So, but what was fucking that was the year they got cut though.
Yes.
Remember, we ran into when we were going to our seats. We ran into freaking Albert, and he had his glasses on. I didn't recognize him.
It's amazing.
We ran into somebody else too, and it's slipping my mind right now, and I cannot remember for the life of me.
Well, I can tell you that we met Ryan and the other person. We'll just leave it at that. In fact, we met a lot of people that got canceled at that show.
Yes.
Because we also met Daniel Matheson and Brandon Stroud.
Stroud?
Yeah, on that show. And I still have the picture of him and the four of us like trading sexual favors to get on a card.
Oh, okay.
Daniel Matheson blamed Joey Ryan for sexually.
I remember that one.
Yeah, that was a whole nother thing. We won't talk about that. One of the many shows that we did that we probably walked that line pretty well. I think we did a good job of walking the line on that one. But yeah, WrestleMania 29 was a big part of our lives. Because it was my first WrestleMania. It was Fat Man's second.
Yep.
Yeah. Was it everyone's first WrestleMania other than Fat Man?
Everyone was a WrestleMania virgin but me.
That was my first WrestleMania, and I ended up ripping out 3 out of 4 years in a row.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah. Fat Man and had done, what was it, 23? The one in Detroit.
Yes.
Where I was like, I'll pass. Thank you very much. But yeah,
thanks. I choose life.
Yeah, basically that's what it came down to. But yeah, WrestleMania was a big deal. Going to Ring of Honor for the second time.
It was our first. We were gonna
It
go.
was our first time. Yeah,
we were gonna go a couple years ago, but we were like the only one to buy tickets to the show, so they canceled it.
they canceled the show. Yeah, it was in Connecticut. I remember that. Yeah. So it was technically our first Ring of Honor show, and it started the whole thing with 2CW and got us all fucking into that. And that's where I started figuring out, hey, maybe I should try and get back into professional wrestling as a performer. It was one of those 2CW shows where I met Dick Justice and I met, the Jacksons and Kevin Steen, and they were like, that shit doesn't happen all that often. And when I say that shit, I'm talking about Fat Man's broken back, and that 10 years later, he's still having problems with. 11 years later.
I'm going to be having surgery on here soon.
Yeah. So it's been a journey in that respect. We did a lot. We've done a lot of shows. We've split up. We've come back. People have left the show. People have come back from the show. The one big thing I do want to hit is about 4 years ago. There was a point in time where Fat Man and I were seriously contemplating into the show. We had gotten kind of, it was old hat, and we're kind of disillusioned about what we wanted to do and so on and so forth. And you'll read a little bit more about this in the article that's going to be posted, depending on when you listen to this. It'll probably be posted like Friday or Saturday. And my trainer at the time, Mark House, had his own podcast called The House Call. Shocker, right? But he was being distributed by GERE Network and JC Money. So a couple years later, I reached out to him and said, hey, why don't we work together? Maybe we can get our show onto the GERE Network, and maybe we can do some, good stuff here. Obviously, that happened. We were on there and we're off to the races, and we've been there for 4 full years. But a lot of the things that we don't talk about GERE is how much John helped us in not just providing marketing to the show, because yeah, that was kind of the point. But John personally helped me a lot with the back end stuff. There's a lot of things that we did and we worked on that helped bring the wrestling show to a better quality from a production standpoint. One of the reasons why we went to weekly shows and kept it an hour long was his suggestion, because a lot of the feedback he was getting on the shows were too long. And to be fair, they were like 2.5, 3.5 hour shows. And I was dying just trying to edit the fucking things. So stuff like that helped mold the wrestling show into a better quality product. And I have nothing but the highest praise for John and how much he's helped us over the years because of that. So even though this is the last episode on the GERE Network, I really do want to say thank you to John and say, you know, you've helped us so much and you've helped us get to this next level. And it's also helped us feel like that we've got a ball rolling here. We've got something here. So to John, thank you. Seriously.
Yes. Thank you, John, for everything you've done for us and for our show and for the local podcasting scene in general.
Yeah. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to kind of, I don't even know what we're going to do. We're going to touch on a couple other things. We got news and rumors. Fatman's got news and rumors. We do have some announcements about the future of the show that we'll talk about a little bit more on the other side of it. So we'll be back after this. All right, folks, we're back. So let's start with news and rumors. We've talked a bunch about the wrestling show, so let's talk a little bit about news and rumors. What's been going on in the world of professional wrestling?
What's the haps?
Nothing.
What?
Nothing.
Nothing.
Nothing's been going on. Absolutely nothing. Oh, look what I found.
Oh.
So
he pulls up his pad just to pull up the iPad afterwards. This is how this show went for many years.
It's still going that way. What are you talking about?
Right?
Fuck you.
The only difference is now he's got an iPad.
Mr. Post-it.
Oh, fuck you.
I have Post-it of note.
I love my Post-its. Go fuck yourself.
Post-it.
I hope you step on a Lego.
Post-it of note.
I still find it.
Steve Austin is reportedly openly doing another match following his appearance at this year's WrestleMania. A new workout video posted by Austin's Instagram story has few speculation that would compete at WrestleMania. According to
Dave
Meltzer.
Fucking Canadian idiot.
Where there is smoke, there is fire, and discussions are happening. Meltzer discussed potential opponents for Austin at WrestleMania 39, mentioning CM Punk as a possibility. Meltzer said, "It's all hands on." The hell just happened there? Okay, it's all hands on deck as they got 2 nights of WrestleMania. There's big money matches you can do. I mean, there's a bunch of them. I don't know what the legalese would be for Punk, but I think actually that's the biggest money match of all the matches they can do, because Punk coming at WWE would be big. There's the injury that Punk may be able to make it back by WrestleMania. Everyone's healing this differently, but then there's also the legal issue. According to Meltzer, if Punk is available, Brock Lesnar or John Cena are the best possible options.
Cena would be nice.
So
I heard the most about.
Punk would be dumb. Lesnar, I don't think would make us any sense.
do you want to break the internet?
How?
Do it, you won't.
Jake fucking Paul.
No.
Versus Austin?
Mm-hmm.
Jake Paul?
Yes, because Logan will be busy on night 2
Against Cena.
Bingo.
The stars of YouTube versus the stars of wrestling's past? I mean,
But it
You
fits.
laugh all you
If,
want, but look at the people that'll dry in.
I'm
Yeah.
not laughing.
so
I'm not
look,
That
either.
was an absolute.
Because when he said
genuine
Jake
reaction.
Paul, I thought he actually meant Logan Paul.
no, I meant Jake.
Okay.
So the reason why I say this is it all makes kind of perfect sense. Logan Paul on Impulsive this week dropped hints of him having conversations with Triple H saying, hey, you want to break the internet? Put me in the ring with John Cena. WrestleMania, night 1 or 2, doesn't even have to be the main event. We can go on first. You'll have the most buys in the history of the company.
Well, here's the thing. What do you mean by buys?
So it was
Right.
the most. So it was the Crown Jewel was the most viewed pay-per-view.
International.
No,
Yes, it was the most viewed international show.
Yeah, international.
but it was the most viewed on Peacock as well.
That's not what I heard. I heard because I said it last week. It was the most viewed international show.
Peacock did big numbers. What is going on here?
Well, what is that's kind of a misnomer anyway, because
795.
It's not even that.
it's not the only
not-
thing on Peacock.
True.
So I mean, I don't know.
I just think if
I
you
just
get the
think-
Paul
go
brothers
ahead.
in there, especially Jake. Jake is the moneymaker. Logan does all this other stuff. Jake's the real one.
I just think you can put
Logan
in the
and Jake Paul are like the Diaz brothers. Logan runs Jake.
I mean, you're
I'm-
not wrong.
Yeah, you're not wrong on that.
I'm just thinking you can put in Santino Morella versus the Brooklyn Brawler in the main event, and it will still be the most watched WrestleMania of all time. Now, I'm not discounting the Jake Paul thing. I'm just saying
It doesn't matter.
Brooklyn
It doesn't
fucking
matter,
Brawler.
though.
Listen to him over the piece of shit. I hope you step on a Brooklyn Brawler sized Lego.
Steve Lombardi's just like rolling.
Well,
in the
what was
grave.
it? What was his baseball? Abe Knuckleball shorts?
Warts.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. I hope you slip on a knuckleball.
Wait. The Boston Brawler.
That's better.
Huge,
That would
huge heel
would-
turn.
that will definitely draw way more money than the Brooklyn Brawler.
He did
that-
it. He did it for a couple months.
So let's get into something that people are so stupid. At Saturday's
Oh, I
event.
did want to touch on something else that was said here.
Okay.
The reason why I don't think they'll do Jake Paul versus Austin is I don't think Austin would trust somebody in the ring
That green.
at that point. I think he's going to be looking for somebody who does a lot, has been a worker for a long time. And Jake
That
Paul
I can
just
see.
simply doesn't do that.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
That does make sense. Then immediately my eyes shift. I hate to say this, but I would love to see Austin Theory just get absolutely fucking stomped for a solid 15.
That's fine.
And he's put up with a lot of bullshit.
You know what? I'd watch Goldberg beat Austin Theory.
that would be fun to watch.
What about having Cena and Stone Cold go at it, and then having the Paul brothers go at it?
No.
You don't think Paul versus
Logan
Paul?
versus Jake?
Yeah,
I wouldn't do that right now. Maybe
No.
down the line. But right now, there's more money to be made with them against superstars.
Yes.
I don't know who they could be, but I guarantee you there's more money to be made against some major star.
Mhm. Okay, moving on. At Saturday's event, Karrion Kross is wrestling Drew McIntyre when a fan threw a drink on Scarlett. Police and security escorted the woman and what appeared to be members of her family out of the arena. Peoria police confirmed that no charges were filed and no arrests were made in an update. The initial report on arrest came from inside the arena fan speculation. According to the incident, crew members cleaned up the ringside area and the match continued with Scarlett reportedly upset. Duh. So don't do this ever. This is the first time that a fan incident has happened with Scarlett. I think in Mexico, somebody grabbed her ass. Just,
No, I wonder why.
I mean, she's hot, but like that's not the point.
I mean, yeah. Mexico's different, I guess. I don't know.
But just because you think you paid
Sorry
your
about-
hard-earned money to see, you can do whatever you want. And if she's getting that much heat, good for her. But at the same time, don't do that. Just don't do it.
This isn't 1978.
Right.
People deserve to have respect, especially in this profession. And I hope they're banned for life.
Yes. Not just
How's
to
that?
Peoria.
I hope that
Any
woman steps on a
WB.
Lego.
Yep.
There you go. Love it.
Now, to get Chip's dick hard.
Well, he got his dick in frame for this. So,
Okay.
Try me.
Kevin Kelly announces a new promotion called American Excellence Wrestling. The first event is going to be June 7th at the Hamburg Fieldhouse
Harrisburg.
in Hamburg, Pennsylvania.
Oh, Hamburg. Yeah.
Mhm.
Interesting.
Kevin Kelly running a promotion.
So is he giving up in JPW then?
no,
I don't think so.
no, he's
Okay.
not. So
All right.
I can actually give you a little bit of insight on this.
I think actually one of my friends is wrestling in this promotion.
So Kevin and I go way back.
Oh, really? Okay.
Way back. Way back.
Seminar with him once years ago. But no, the thing is that it's not a brand new promotion. It's actually a rebrand of Outbreak Wrestling, which it's a semi like mid indie, but they work PA, they work New Jersey, they're looking upstate maybe. They're trying to hit this area, which it's kind of a hotbed thanks to some random outlaw mud show called GCW. And of course, that Philly mud show ECW from years ago. No one cared about that then. They still don't care about that now. But yeah, so he's putting a name brand on it. I don't know how much, without saying too much more, money into this promotion that he's gotten in this, whether he's just an open person that's just doing it, or if he's got some actual money, he's actually booking it. Great. Either way, I'm interested in it. I will absolutely go to the show in Tom's River. I think they're doing. So,
Oh, really? Eastside Heights.
yeah, which is about 45-ish minutes away from me. So absolutely.
I think here probably about an hour and a half from me. But I think it's up near Bethlehem, I believe. My friend who believe it or not, she was my music director in a show that I was in Baltimore. She started training with MCW a few years ago. And it's funny, she ran to me at a bar one night, and her boyfriend, Tommy Vorak, now, I think they're either engaged or just boyfriend and girlfriend still. But they ran to me at a bar, and I was 37 at the time. And they looked at me and said, "Hey, man, you're in really good shape. You should try wrestling." I'm like, I'm not going to go wrestle, but thank you for the offer. But they moved up here to PA, and then I recently saw her posting about a show in Hamburg. So I'm guessing her and Tommy are part of that show.
Almost certainly. Bob Evans is part of it. Brutal Bob.
Ah, gotcha.
Because Brutal Bob and Kevin are friends. So
Cool.
Okay. Braun Strowman is said to have very real heat in WWE.
Oh my God, I'm tired of hearing this shit.
Strowman received criticism from several co-workers after WWE Crown Jewel for targeting flippy wrestlers and grocery baggers in now deleted tweets, to which several pro wrestlers responded. WWE stars Ricochet and Mustafa Ali took to Twitter to react to Strowman's tweets about high-fly wrestlers, also Chris Jericho, Will Ospreay, Keith Lee, and others. It is noted that Strowman has been on his best behavior backstage since returning to WWE and has been easy to deal with, but social media Braun has been a different story. WWE officials are reportedly aware of the controversy, and at least one has stated that Strowman's approach was immature. A source also states that Strowman's comments were not part of an ongoing or upcoming angle and will most likely not be turned into one. However, it was suggested that Strowman could eventually be ribbed or referenced on screen or in commentary for a stance. One wrestler claims they'll never do a flip in their life and said that the Strowman tweets should never have happened, saying, we need them and they need us. Wrestling is everything. There's very little truly right and wrong. He didn't come up in the business doing the things a lot of those people did, so he probably doesn't understand.
When you make me agree with Jim Cornette, says everything you need to know about wrestling. And he's an idiot. He's an idiot. He's always been an idiot. He never respected the business from day one. We've talked about this on the show multiple times now. Fuck him. Just seriously, fuck him. Why don't you go back to EC3 and go control your narrative someplace else?
Because he's gonna make more fucking money at the WWE. Let him run his mouth. He's a giant man.
Yeah.
Big meaty man slapping meat is what wrestling was built on. All the rest of the shit is
Just
crap.
let him do it. Who gives a shit? It's Twitter. It's Elon's world. Take that shit with a grain of salt.
That's a good way of putting it. I mean,
what, you gonna let 140 characters ruin your fucking day?
yes.
He would, yeah.
Can't let that stupid virtual shit get in your fucking mode.
That's my life.
I would say fuck social media, but they're the ones that gave us our thing, so I really can't say that.
Big meaty men slapping meat. It's all we need to hear.
That sounds like
Big
something.
meaty man slap meat.
Give me them 15 minutes.
It's the only fans tag right there. Big man slapping me.
That's absolutely happening.
Gross. Randy Orton was spotted in Birmingham, and which is where Dr. James Andrews is.
I thought
So he's probably not making Mania.
Oh, he's definitely not making Mania because I remember going through Instagram, going back to social media bullshit.
Well, his wife posted something of him in a hospital bed saying
Yeah.
happy 7th anniversary, but they didn't really list why.
It could have been
Lady-
a colonoscopy for all we know.
It probably could have been. He's at the age. Lady Frost finally got her release from Impact.
Finally.
Taryn Terrell retired.
Yeah, that was kind of interesting. Just out of nowhere, too. She was working for
NWA.
Yeah.
Well, just shows you what they're doing at NWA.
I'll get to that last.
Dude,
Bobby Roode is close to returning.
Bobby.
glorious.
Deanna Perrazzo and Steve Macklin got married.
Congratulations.
And then we talked about it. We notioned it. Tyrus won the NWA World Championship.
Yeah, let's talk about that.
And new.
I really want to get your guys' opinions on this.
Oh, time out. Here comes paper throw. 10th anniversary paper throw. Make it special. Curveball.
Make it special.
Knuckleball.
Abe Knuckleball Schwartz.
Oh,
Wow.
He threw that.
was high class shit.
No, the cat's playing with it. My thought is he's a 50-year-old man. You can't walk, so let alone wrestle. So you're
He's
gonna put the
what's called
title
a
on him.
transitional champion.
Absolutely
so.
not.
You
And
don't
I'll
think
tell
he's
you
a
why.
you don't think he's a transitional champion?
No. At least, no.
His presence on Fox News, please enlighten me.
And Chip just hit Y. The man is taking the NWA championship and putting it in the middle of his fucking show on Fox News. Now, say what you want about Fox News. Say what you want about people who watch Fox News.
I keep my mouth shut.
I am a fucking huge liberal and everyone knows it. So, whatever. I make Bernie Sanders look like a fucking conservative. Okay, but that's beside the point. The reality is he's put a shit ton of eyes on the NWA championship and his promotion in general. When I say him, I mean Billy Corgan, pronouns,
Yes.
pal. But the reality of doing that is a smarter business move than it originally looks like. Yeah, Tyrus is a piece of shit. Yes, Tyrus can't work a fucking match in a day in his life. He's a decent promo at best. But he's got a following. And sometimes that's all that matters, especially when you have maybe the 5th promotion behind Impact, Ring of Honor, AEW, and WWE.
Hey, we're in JPW.
Yeah,
I'm talking about in US.
Oh,
GCW might even be bigger than the NWA.
They
right
might
now.
be. Yeah.
Mhm.
So why
But-
not leverage it?
I'm gonna piggyback off what Sleazy's talking about. He's actually got a very good point, because if you look at it, look at Logan. Look how much people he brought into WWE just by being part of WWE. Corrigan may not be the best manager or best owner of a federation, but you know what? Smart as hell to do that, because now that belt, like Sleazy said, and there are tons, and I am on the opposite side of him. I am a total conservative. And there are tons of people. I used to work at Google in DC that watch Fox News religiously, and they will have their eyes fixated on that belt. Like, hey, I wonder what that belt's all about. And then they'll look it up, and then, hey, boom, another 1,000 viewers right there.
Mhm.
So on the social media aspect and on the public eyes aspect, very smart by Billy Corgan to put the belt on Tyrus.
And he knew exactly what he was doing, because when he put the most recent NWA post out there, he made reference to it. Oh, we hear you. So
Bravo. Playing that
or
game
not,
right.
it worked. So
Now you needs to just go in the studio and start recording more Smashing Pumpkins albums.
right. Maybe he can make some money there, because he sure as hell ain't making money on the NWA.
No.
So that was everything that you wanted to talk about, right? Okay.
Wait a minute. Wait. You ain't gonna let me not talk about this right now.
Oh, you want to talk about this garbage?
This motherfucker.
He's the one that tweeted it.
I know, right?
Oh, he's
Can
getting
we
ready.
name?
He got ready in his fucking seat for this.
Can we name the last African American NWA champion?
No, I don't think I could.
The
It's the-
last one, isn't he the only one?
Correct.
He is. Yeah, Sleazy. Now try that.
Wow, look at Ryan.
I even used a sleazy joke. We go from the greatest 2-time NWA heavyweight champion, R-Truth, to I can't even do a splash right Tyrus, who literally just rolls like jelly. Motherfucker, I barely even touched a wrestling ring. I think I could do better than that. It's a shame for people who bust their ass in NWA for literally the last 18 months. It spits in Nick Aldis's face. It spits
He
in
wanted to
Tim
take off.
Storm. Like all those guys that literally like held NWA firm and proper.
Nay, fucking nay, sir. As Tyrus has been around the NWA basically since he's been accepted with Billy Corgan, and has been one of their loyal fucking soldiers, and has been
Listen,
wrestling on
I
the
get
shows
it.
and doing
I
the
get
work.
loyalty. I get why they do it. It's probably his biggest money meal ticket to actually draw in fans. But what right wing douche nozzle is gonna buy a pay-per-view with a dude that can barely fucking walk into a ring?
Here's the thing. The NWA champion, his political views are in line with my political views. I'm going to support him. We don't know. Sleazy something that it
We're
works.
literally talking about politics and wrestling, by the way,
Well,
which should never fucking happen.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. Sleazy said that it worked. We don't know what worked. We do not know what worked yet. It just happened.
I will say
So-
this. I'm going to say it worked in the fact that it brought eyes to the product that it wasn't on there, because you can outright look at the amount of likes, the amount of views versus one post versus another.
And negative press is better than no press. Got it.
Yeah.
Guarantee you, NWA Power, the all-women event, outsold this.
It probably did.
Guarantee it.
Probably did.
And we don't know.
I'm done.
We'll see, but I don't know.
Fuck you.
I get the perception of doing it. I still wouldn't have done it. Not on a
I'm
guy.
not saying it's the greatest idea in the world. I just understand why they did it.
It's just the guy can't move in a ring. He can barely walk.
Oh
And
my
I
God,
just-
no.
And
So,
you could easily put it on Cardona, who is fucking
you could put
basically
it
a
on
one man wrecking crew when it comes to just pushing shit.
I mean,
The
you
dude's an
could-
internet savant.
you could have put it on Aaron Stevens. You could have put it on what's his name?
The belt
Fuck.
could have went on anybody. It wouldn't have mattered.
Yeah.
Tyrus right now gives you the biggest, one of the bigger monster heels that they've had. If you're watching NWA, he's like been that monster heel piece of shit. Like they wanted a good heel champion to try to do it with Cardona, and like he got injured. Gave it back to Murdoch. They weren't really doing much with it. Here's a shot. If they're gonna run with it, here's a shot in the arm for the NWA to be something different. Not, I still think he's just gonna be a transitional champion.
And he might be. This could be a 2-month reign. So I hate to say it this way because we constantly say it, especially with WWE, but we have to wait and see. Two bits of news and then we'll wrap this up here. Number one,
full gear preview.
fuck it. We've done a lot of talking on this.
MJS winning the title. If you don't think so, you're wrong.
And the
there's
Elite's coming back on.
And the Elite's coming back. Yeah. So that's it. That's all you need to know.
Just for us on the wrestling show and the people that listen, there will be 2 scorecards this weekend, an Impact one and an AEW one.
Maybe I'll actually do one.
I
Yeah.
haven't done the last couple of them.
Shit.
I've missed the last couple of them.
I missed the last one. Yeah.
Yeah, I completely forgot about it. But yeah, I'll be
I've
doing it this week.
Interviews lately. I don't even know what day it is. I'm the only reason I know it's actually. See, I thought it was Tuesday. There you go. That's how off I am.
Yeah, because we're taping a day later than normal. A lot of things happened yesterday.
Yep.
It caused some issues.
We all had to be casually late to the anniversary show yesterday.
Right?
Like,
We couldn't
My fault.
possibly be on top.
My fault.
And it wasn't just your fault. There was,
My fault.
like I had some issues too that I would have been cutting it close myself. So it worked out for everyone to move it to today. So I asked everyone on the show, one quick thing. What is your favorite moment of the last 10 years of the wrestling show? And I got different answers for everyone. So this one was Chip. By far getting chopped by me. Thank you. Thank you for that. The live show for Mania 29. And basically anytime I got to hang out with you two knuckleheads. Although the violent party is where I figured out I wanted to do a sportscast. That's great. That's awesome.
And I wouldn't be able to do without that guy right there in my bottom left corner. That's you, Brandon.
Was it
I
me?
hope. I'm like, who the fuck is it?
Well, everybody's on the top of mine. So
Yeah, let me give you all a quick get up on how that started. So when it came, Fat Man hates MMA. Sleazy doesn't really dabble in MMA, and Ryan's still in Canada, so doesn't really get a feed.
He's like, what's MMA?
No, man, we just had UFC
he just
last week. So
he
like,
just
it was really
realized
cool,
UFC 100 actually happened 5 years ago.
He's like, who's this Royce Gracie dude? He's pretty good.
Yeah, you found out who can.
Fuck, he's still going, boy.
He's like Dan
what's that big
Severin.
guy?
Who the hell is that guy?
You're all here of Victor Belfort?
He's like, who the hell's Dan Severin? You guys ever heard of this guy?
But no,
I
so
know that up and comer Tito Ortiz, boys. I should watch that.
Hey, I can call Tito right now if we want a quick chit chat.
the basis of it was everyone followed wrestling, but me and Brandon followed other sports outside of wrestling that are violent, like hockey, like headbutting and shit that goes into soccer, other sports events that have caused brawls to happen. But our main focus is MMA. But just hanging out, talking with you guys and hanging out with Brandon on a weekly basis and talking, I was like, this is what I need in my life. And honestly, I've been through depression. I've been through divorces. I've been through jail. I've been through court, everything. And when I feel the need that I got to go to dark places, I hope it's either a Tuesday or a day when I can talk to you all, because you all brought me out some very dark times. So thank you guys for that.
Appreciate it.
And plus, you all gave me the idea for the Fourth Line Wonders and the show that me and Fat Man started that still goes on, the Best Damn Sports Show, period, too.
So, Deets, I asked you the question as well.
Yes.
And,
And
you said, shit, everything but the constant battle of a hot dog is a sandwich is why I punch my ticket.
It is a sandwich.
It's amazing how wrong you are.
It's amazing how wrong you are.
It's just amazing how wrong you absolutely
This is
are.
absolutely, you are incorrect, sir.
I'm not.
Dean,
So
give us your life, your feeling of the wrestling show, please.
So no, like I don't get a chance to come on that often because my lifestyle. My lifestyle, I run businesses outside of what we do here. I get crazy busy. So it's nice where I can literally hop back in with you guys and just snap on it real quick. And you guys pick up on all the stupid little jokes. You all giggle, you all laugh. And I appreciate it. That's all I'm here for. I'm the dick and farts guy. That's really what I am. I'm that great piece of meat in between a lovely cove of Sleazy and Fat Man. And I appreciate you both.
Only fans. Only OnlyFans.
Fans.com/the wrestling show.
My tits on OnlyFans.
Yes.
I want
Mine are. But no, it's like it's been 10 years. It's been 10 years that's been super fun. Fuck, you on that video, I had fucking short hair. Now I got fucking long ass hair.
I still have no hair.
You got no hair.
Yeah. A lot of us lost. Fat Man was making fun of my widow's peaks up here.
Yeah, look
Like,
at that.
I'm glad I have this amount of hair. You know? Oh, he's
here-
getting the bun off. Oh, look at that. Look at that fucking mane.
Oh my
Now
God.
that-
Are you
now
from
that-
OAR? Are you from OAR? You're in You were in Baltimore for a while. Did you learn from them?
oh my God, he's emo. He
He
looks like one of those emo kids from South Park.
He
You look like one of those emo kids from South Park.
They belong in SR-71 now.
SR-71.
Who is from Baltimore, Maryland? Who is from Baltimore, Maryland?
Well, I was thinking.
Wow.
Well, I was gonna get. My next was the blurry song. What's that stupid puddle of mud?
Puddle
Puddle
Mud.
Mud.
There we go.
Oh,
Let's
yeah.
get-
Ryan, I also asked you.
Dude,
He said when Travis left the show.
I mean, he's got a point. That caused a lot of issues in his life.
Wow.
The serious answer wasn't anything on the show. It's just the friendships we built over the years.
Oh, we're friends? Oh, cool.
Hey,
everybody that's currently employed on the show, yeah.
Time out. He literally just followed me on Twitter this week. We've been knowing each other for 10 years. And he literally just followed me.
Now, for about 9 of those years, I didn't really do Twitter, and I only just got Facebook back like a month ago too. So, like, fuck off, dickhead. Let's start with that one.
That is also true.
No, and I'm the same. I'm trying to be like Chip. I've already gone through 1 divorce, not 2. So, like,
one at a time here, dude.
Don't reach
but
my
I'm the same thing.
real story here. So
He lost. He
Friends.
lost.
I had a friend that when we got married, I got divorced and he got divorced, and then I got married again. He's like, "Hey,"
Sorry, is that call interrupted the podcast?
and he goes, "Hey, I'm trying to get your score. Don't want my score. My score is not good." He's still at 1 marriage or a second marriage. I'm in my 3rd. So
Yeah, well. Ryan, continue.
this is a lot
Hold on,
better.
hold on.
Yeah, the one you all met is no longer part of my life.
Yeah, well. Ryan, go ahead and continue if you can.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Can
Okay. No, it's funny that, or fitting that on 10th anniversary show, I had to pause to go get my edibles at the front door.
They deliver?
Yeah, it is.
Canada.
In Newfoundland, they deliver.
DoorDash.
We might have
So-
UFC 8, but I still
So
get edibles
they
delivered
don't
straight to
have
my door.
internet, but you can get. They can deliver gummies to your door.
They can deliver door to door.
They can deliver gummies to my door by dog sled, but the internet is still shit. Yeah. No, like I said, wrestling was a big part of my life anyways, liking it, watching it, and then doing this podcast is so therapeutic. I'm like Chip, went through a bunch of shit. And no matter what, it always comes back to it's the camaraderie of the podcast. We've been friends for so long. We've been in each other's lives for so long. Like, we all have open invitations if we're ever in the area where we're to go to the people's houses. Like, this is something that's been a friendship that's been bonded because of the show. And I love it and I appreciate it. And I love all you guys.
You know what I mean? And that's just, I'm very appreciative of the friendships we've made and the bonds we've shown and the fights and the arguments. And I don't know what life would be at if the Fat Man wasn't a jaded piece of shit. Like, but just like, I love you guys and thank you for letting me be part of this and help this grow.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
Fat
Get
Man.
my
and
hand.
yeah. What a fucking heavy way to end this fucking thing. No. Fat Man and I actually said, well, he didn't realize we said the same thing, but it was WrestleMania 29. Because Fat Man and I have been friends for 25 years now, maybe a little bit longer now.
Mm.
But WrestleMania 29 was really a turning point in our lives in the fact that we got to meet you guys. We got to see people who thought like us, who liked the same things as we did. Fat Man and I grew up in some bodunk town in the middle of upstate New York.
I'm still there.
Okay, yes, but the point being is that we were at a point in our lives where things were changing for us. I had gotten the position at BOCES not too long after we started the show, and I had a full-time job so we could put some more money into this stuff and go see more shows and go out and actually do stuff. But before then, we were broke. We barely knew what we wanted to do. We both of us tried college and failed. We were at a point in our lives where we were kind of didn't know where we were going. And the wrestling show helped bring a lot of purpose to that. And WrestleMania 29 and getting to know you guys over the years has helped both of us. And both of us have had a lot of things happen to us. Fat Man obviously will almost certainly go through it after I say stuff, but like I've gone through jobs, I've gone through girlfriends, I've gotten married, I bought a house, I bought another house. I moved out away from upstate New York. I got to live my dream of being a professional wrestler, of getting into the ring, getting into professional wrestling, of being able to do production in professional wrestling, doing stuff with Excite and doing stuff with UPW and Wild Zero and meeting all these people that I at some point idolized. I got to meet Tito Santana and see the people that we are behind me, but watch them grow up into their lives over the last 10 years. So for me, this show, the wrestling show, has been so important to my life. And you guys have been so important to my life. And when COVID hit, and we didn't really talk about that, but when COVID hit and the pandemic hit, I didn't know what we were going to do. I really thought that was going to be the end of our show, because if there's no wrestling, there's no wrestling show. And there's a lot of things that happened from 2020 on that.
Oh, by the way, hold on. Before you stop, Aaron, come here.
Yeah.
So this is the guy, bend over so you can get the camera, that suggested to us to start a podcast. This
Look
guy.
at that beard.
Right. D says, look at that beard.
That's an impressive man. That's
He's
an impressive thing.
It's phenomenal. But yeah, it's just
and Ryan left because he wants to watch AEW.
I don't blame him. So
I'll watch for 11 o'clock.
But the point I wanted to make out of all this, well, it stopped me from rambling further on, I hope. But the point is that we got through the pandemic and we still have a show. And that's where I'm just going to give it to Fat Man. Let him have what he's got. We do have a couple of announcements afterwards, and then we'll end the show on that. So, Fat Man,
fellas, I got to step out. Wife just literally got home.
All right.
Enjoy.
Appreciate you guys. Thank you.
Geeks.
Love y'all. Appreciate y'all.
So essentially,
I'll play it when you see it.
The wrestling show changed my life, or WrestleMania that weekend changed my life. Like Susie said, we had a lot of changes going on, but the one constant was this show. And being able to meet Chip, Ryan, even Travis, he gets a bad rap. I don't mind Travis. I think I'm the only one that's really mind him as much drama as he created, but and Dietz and Chip, Ryan, everyone else. It, talking wrestling, and like I said, it's therapeutic. And as me going through my health issues now, it's the one constant of me not being able to sleep, not being able to, do anything is I look forward to these shows. And that weekend really did change my life. Going to Dallas, trying to keep up with Chip's drinking and failing miserably.
Don't worry, I go with my drinking anymore, so you're good.
I remember Fat Man had actually messaged me not too long before that. He's like, "Should I really go to Dallas?"
Yes.
What the fuck,
dude?
dude?
And then Sleazy goes, when what'd you say? You said, how many more opportunities are you going to have? So, and then doing that,
I'll let you know when I came down the escalator and I saw you by the elevator, dude. I was already psyched because me and Del were coming. I had just met Josh literally a month before. I have never met Josh before I met you, really. I met Josh in a Nationals Orioles game a month before. And then we were all flying down. And I walked down and escalator. As I'm going down, I see Fat Man with his bag and his shorts. And he had a red and white plaid shirt on. And
I did.
There by the like, oh, this shit's about to get real. And every time we've hung out since, New Orleans,
Boston,
hell, you came down to my house.
Yes.
In Baltimore. We went to a Boston Orioles game live.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
You still have open invitation to come down to Gettysburg and stay at my house.
Dude,
although I might be moving to Hershey. We'll talk about that another time. But I might be moving closer to Sleazy, actually. But the thing is that remember that like it was yesterday, and the amount of fun we had. We all went to a fucking hockey game where none of our teams were playing. The Dallas versus the Phoenix Coyotes.
Yep.
When if you're in the South and you go to a hockey game, there's no one there. Not a damn soul.
I remember taking a picture. We were second to last row, and I sent it to Sleazy, and Sleazy already had a panic attack.
God damn.
Actually, Sleazy in that weekend. Go ahead, Chip. Go ahead.
Down the escalator, and I saw you there. It was one of the happiest moments I've had on the show.
Yeah, dude, it was a blast. I was gonna say New Orleans, as much as we hated that trip, it was spending time with you, Josh. He left early. But yeah, it was great. Sleazy and I went to Yankee Stadium that weekend for WrestleMania 29. We met Michael Elgin, yeah, okay. But
we met everyone that got canceled since then.
Pretty much. But it was, again, it really did change my life. And I talk to Chip at least twice a week on this show, on the sports podcast. Ryan's bickering, Dietz every time he comes on. We give each other shit, but we love each other. And it is a friendship that it's gonna last, man. And personally, like I said, I'm going through some health issues. I don't know if I said on the show, I have a herniated disc in my neck. I'm probably going to be having surgery on that. I will be having surgery on my left arm again. That will be on December 1st. So I'm actually haven't been sleeping because I've been actually having nightmares. But again, like I said, the one constant is prepping for this show. So yeah.
So we never really talked about New Orleans even all that much.
No, because that pay-per-view is still going on, by the way.
Right?
Oh my God.
Well, it was a very important show for me too. I mean, that weekend was probably the first WrestleMania I went there feeling like I knew people. Feeling like I knew in terms of workers.
Right.
Because you had guys like Joe Gacy there. I knew DJ Hyde and worked with these guys, so that was a big deal. It was also one of the biggest trips my now wife, then girlfriend, we had together.
Toronto to fucking New Orleans.
That was a fucking trip and a half, and
literally.
I still talk about how I'm shocked we did not lose the car when we went to the wing shack. Fucking great fucking wings, but at what cost?
I just remember we ate breakfast, and like an hour later, you're like, "Oh, we're gonna get wings," and me and Chip in the back seat looked at each other, go,
The fuck is wrong with this asshole?
"What?" And then he's like, guard the car. And I'm like, "Why? It's gonna get stolen." No, it's not. Look at this place. I'm like, "It's not gonna get stolen."
Yeah. Okay.
In my defense.
Oh, did it get stolen?
No.
So there you go.
In
Well,
my
thank
defense,
God for that.
I didn't eat breakfast that day, and I'll tell you why.
Because
Oh,
oh, bullshit. We have it on camera. You stuffing your face at your favorite restaurant, Waffle House.
yes.
We have it
Absolutely. It was
So-
on camera.
on
So-
camera.
So the shoot is, when we were in Dallas, everyone wanted to go to Waffle House. I'm like, all right, fuck it, whatever. I'm in. Let's go. I love to eat. I ate. I was in the bathroom for literally 6 out of 12 hours that day. I now know I have IBS, and that fucking annoyed it. And literally, I'm in their bathroom shitting my brains out, and they meet Bob Backlund and other wrestlers, and I'm in the bathroom dying.
Bob
This is why.
Backlund's going to put the cross-faced chicken wing on you as you're shitting yourself.
Well, here's the thing, Chip. It's such your favorite restaurant. You ate everything on the menu. Just don't do that next time.
I can't do that. I this size body cannot eat the whole menu. All right.
So let's quickly talk about the future and wrap this up because we're going long, but whatever.
Yeah.
So as most people know, we are leaving the GERE Network. Today is the last episode. So what does the future hold for us? It's simple. We're going out on our own. We've signed a deal with Podbean. We're doing all of our distribution through Podbean. You'll probably hear different ads if you hear ads. The other thing that's going to be big part of this is that we are planning on more content. We are actually launching at the beginning of the year a brand new Patreon. And that Patreon is going to be very, small tiers. We're not going to be looking at, for $100 you can jack us each off, type of thing. No,
And
that's for OnlyFans. That's for OnlyFans.
Oh, okay.
That's
Okay.
a separate revenue stream. No.
Okay.
So in the future, if you want ad-free shows, if you want digital downloads of our shows, if you want extra content, like we are planning on taping this and getting this ready for you, but we are planning on doing a watch along of the very first pay-per-view Fat Man and I reviewed on this show, Survivor Series 2012. We're going to actually do that as a watch along.
Mhm.
And that's going to be special for our Patreon members. That doesn't mean the show is going to change. The original show, this show is not going to change. Nothing new
No.
is going to be happening. It's not.
We're not going to put,
paywall.
we're not going to put pay-per-view reviews behind paywalls.
Right.
We're not
It's-
doing that.
It's going to be extra content, things that if you want to get closer with us, like we're contemplating doing our own special chat for you guys, extra content, behind the scenes footage, stuff that you wouldn't normally see, you get to see. All that stuff is going to be part of our Patreon. So look for that out in the future. And like I said, we're going to make it as affordable as possible. Obviously, we came up broke as fuck. We know what it means when it comes to, spending a little extra money a month for content that, maybe you want, maybe you don't want. But we do want to make sure it's as affordable as possible and try and get, just some, extra content out there more than anything else. And Patreon helps us do that. Obviously we're doing a bunch of different things from social media perspective. And of course, the wrestling show website is a big thing. We're doing more articles. Articles are coming out as we speak. Fat Man's doing a ton of them. December 1st, we're going to have to figure that out, but that's a whole different situation. But Fat Man's doing articles. I'm doing articles. Everyone at the wrestling show is planning on doing some sort of articles, I believe. Check us out there. And then lastly, Chip, would you like to put yourself over?
sure. As you see, I got all dappered up for this. So, with it being the 10th anniversary show, first of all, let me put over our podcast. We're actually going to be recording in an hour on Twitch as well. The best darn sports show period 2. We have our World Cup bracket coming up tonight. We're talking an incredible weekend of football, craziness in college football. College basketball starts. I know Fat Man's got a boner right now. Well, he did last night at least until the end of the game. And hockey. So everything non-wrestling sports-wise, you can find on our show. And we are on Twitch at 9 p.m. And you can also find us on Facebook Live. But the reason I did that, I actually went back since it was the 10th anniversary. The Sports Guru 728 is now dead. May he rest in peace. It's been a long time coming, but I went back to my original Twitter handle 10 years ago. I shortened it a little though. TWS_Mark. That's MAAAARK. I'm back, guys.
Yay! The mark is back.
Come back.
Oh, by the way,
since you no, actually, I went away for a while. Since you all talked about your thoughts on this, I came across when I met you guys at WrestleMania 29. I was in the middle of a very rocky marriage. Ended up ending. I met an amazing woman now who I live with in Gettysburg, PA. Happily married on the third time's a charm, guys. So never give up. Sleazy, first time's a charm. Stick with it. Batman, make it once. Anyways, no, 3 times is killer on someone's everything. So after my second divorce, I left the wrestling show for about 8 or 9 months. I had to find myself and find out what I needed and what I wanted. And when I shattered my heel and I was in my room and it came awards time, I'm like, oh, you know what? This is what I need in my life right now. I don't need the parties. I don't need to go out to the bars. I need to be with my boys talking wrestling, something I've loved for years. And if I'm not talking wrestling, I'm talking sports. The trip to Dallas, the trip to New Orleans, everything. Anytime we get to hang out with you guys. And now, damn, Sleazy is literally 2.5 hours up the road, and I need to make my way to Atlantic City. But anyways, I wanted to get that off my chest. So yeah, TWS_Mark with 4 A's. Have a good night, guys.
I'm you got me.
That's his Twitter. That's his Twitter.
You got me flustered on that one. I'm at TWS Sleazy.
TWS Fat Man.
We are Sleazy Fat Man on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Please go over there and give us a like. Videos you can find on twitch.tv/sleazyfatman, youtube.com/sleazyfatman, and premium videos on onlyfans.com/the wrestling show. You can find all sorts of content at thewrestlingshow.com, including articles, merch, and a ton of other cool stuff. You can get this podcast every Saturday morning wherever you get your podcasts, including Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and now Podbean. Don't hesitate to write us on your favorite platform. It really does help us out. So with all that, with thanks to...
You forgot Linktree.
Oh, fuck Linktree. Fuck them. I already said all the other shit, which is on the Linktree, which is LInktr.ee/sleazyfatman. Ha. So with thanks to Dietz, thanks to Ryan, thank you, Chip. And as always, for Sleazy.
The Fat Man.
This is the wrestling show. Thank you guys for 10 years of this. Peace.
10 years to fuck Dave Meltzer. About 3 years to fuck Kenny Omega. Dietz is wrong. A hot dog's definitely not a sandwich. Sleazy's wrong. A sub is definitely not a sandwich.
It's a grinder.
And thank you, John, again, for everything with the GERE Network. And thank you for our multitude of fan for 10 years running.
I'm the truth that you seem to run from. I'm an army of one. I'm a clip in your gun.